Hey guys, it's Rachel here. I'm in a good mood right now. Perfect time to film an acting video. Oh, I'm gonna hear it in my mouth. So this week I'm doing kind of a spin-off of these two videos right here. I'm going to be talking about my first ever callback experience. Now if you don't know what a callback is, basically when you go to an acting audition you might get a callback, which means they're interested in seeing more of you. That could be a good thing, but you never really know. A callback is kind of one of those things where you're like, girl, I think they want me, but maybe not. Normally it's a good thing and it's something that you get excited for as an actor. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and let's just get started. So I got my first ever callback when I was 13 years old. It was like right when I started acting. It's right when I got with my agency, probably a few months after I had my first ever audition. So it was a really big deal and I was so excited about it. So first of all, the initial audition. I remember finding this audition by myself. I don't think I found it through my agency. It was kind of like an out-of-state location. Like I had to go somewhere to actually audition in person for the casting directors, and it was for a short film. It was with a Christian organization. They're really great people. I'm probably gonna say some ridiculous things in this video just about my personal experience, but they were a great group of people that were, you know, making the film. So I remembered I had signed up for an audition. I was really excited about it. At this point in my life, when I was 13, I was just starting to act. I had the biggest acting bug ever. I was just so into it. It's all I wanted in my life. It was all that was on the brain. Literally all I was doing in my free time was looking for auditions, hoping to get auditions, crying because I wasn't getting auditions. I was just way too into acting at that time. I just wanted it more than anything. And at this point, I was like forcing my mom to drive me everywhere, obviously, because I couldn't drive when I was 13. She would drive me anywhere. God bless my mother, because she drove hours and hours upon hours in my acting career, taking me to auditions ever since I first started. I remember the audition was 2.5 hours away. I remember going in, they seemed really nice, and I did 2 monologues, and I was scrambling my brain trying to think of what they were, and I finally found them. This one called Girl Power, which I think I got from an acting workshop back in the day, and this one that I found on aceyouraudition.com, I guess. It's from the Fantastics. It's the Louisa monologue that's pretty popular, and so this is serious. This is kind of fun. These are actually the same copies I took to the audition, so these are very, very special. I'm just kidding, but yeah, I did find the ones that I took. So I did my monologues, I talked to them, it felt really good. It was one of those auditions where I came out and I was like, girl, I did the best I could. That's the best feeling. I remember the casting director calling my mom probably a couple days later, and she told me that I got a call back. I was excited, trust me. I was like beyond words, just ready for this callback. But it happened to be the very next day. Like it was one of those things where they were casting very quick. So the audition happened, and then the call, and then the callback happened the day after. It was a paid short film, which doesn't really mean anything to me anyways. Like I would act for free in a heartbeat still to this day. But it was a big deal. So it was gonna be a cold read, which was intimidating for me. I was very nervous. I remember printing out one headshot though, so I had improved on that. So we kind of packed up for a day trip. I remember planning out my outfit the day before. So anyways, the day came. I was so nervous beyond heck. But I remember we got there. It was actually at a college. It was at like a film college, but it wasn't a student film. They would just held the auditions there, I think. And I remember getting there, and there was 2 other girls there going for my role. They seemed very professional, but I guess I did feel special that I was one of 3 that got a callback. These other girls were like intimidating the heck out of me because they were sitting like all around the waiting room. They were practicing with their moms, and I was just kind of sitting there like, am I doing the right thing? Like not practicing right now. I've always kind of been a private actor. I've always gotten kind of nervous at auditions, and I don't like doing scenes in front of my parents. Don't know if I've ever told you guys that before, but I have a really annoying habit that I hate acting in front of my parents, so I wasn't gonna practice a scene with my mom. So it got to the point where they were starting to call people in, and at that point my nerves were kicking, and they were calling us in pairs. Usually with callbacks it's like to kind of see how you read with the other person. It's kind of like a chemistry read, I guess you could call it. So the part I was auditioning for, her name was Laura, I remember, and there was a little sister. I don't remember what her name was, but that was who I was gonna be reading with. They had like a couple girls for the little sister, maybe like 4, and then they had us 3 girls reading for Laura. I remember getting called in first with like a really good girl who they kept calling in there. So I was like, okay, this girl is probably like gonna get the role, so I should probably be on my A game. I went in there, did the cold read scene with her. I remember them like looking like they kind of hated it, and I was like, what? So they gave me some direction, which was like expected, and we did it kind of differently. And then they said, Rachel, stay in here, we'll send this other girl out and bring another little girl in. So I was like, okay then, maybe I did a little better than I thought I did. So they called another one of the girls in, and I felt good about that one. Like I felt a lot better about reading it with her. I had asked a question in between them bringing the little girls in, and they answered my question, and they're like, thanks for asking. Some casting directors are weird about you asking questions, but a lot of times they like you to ask questions because it shows that you're interested in the character and you really want to know the deep down, you know, personality of them and why you're actually saying the lines that you are. So after the other girl I read with, they called me out, and then they ended up just like calling different pairs in, like one at a time. I remember the same girl that they kept calling in kept going in. One of the other girls that was reading for Laura, they seemed like they really liked her. Like she would come out like laughing every time, and I would just be like, like I really want to do good. I remember going back in again with, I think, the good girl or some other little girl coming out and just being devastated. I was like, Mom, I do not feel good about this. And like I said, I wanted this more than anything. I just remember how passionate I was about this role. Like I really wanted it. I just felt like I didn't do good, and that's the most sucky feeling. I remember asking my mom, like basically almost in tears out here in the waiting room. I was like, Mom, can I please ask to go again? Like, can I ask to go again with this girl? Like I feel like I can do better. And my mom did the right thing. She's like, no, don't you dare do that. It's a bad idea. And that is a bad idea. So I just kind of, you know, waited it out. I remember going back in, and I went in with a girl, and they had kept calling us back in together. I think we kind of looked alike, so that's why we were kind of paired together, and I liked her. Like she was really nice. She was really somebody that I could see having that role, so I was like, maybe they see us together. That was it for, you know, reading the script. It actually went on all evening. It was like, it started at like 8 o'clock or something. It was like a really weird late audition, and it went to like really late. Probably went to like 11 o'clock or something. We were there for a while, but it was mostly just like a lot of waiting and a lot of jealousy and a lot of anxiety for me. They actually called us in one by one and just kind of told us what we did good, you know. I remember feeling so upset after they talked to me after the audition, because I kind of got the vibe like, you did good, but we don't want you, kind of thing. Like they were like, yeah, you did really great, thanks for asking questions. Like they were really impressed that I asked that question. They're like, that's what we really liked about you, we think you're blah 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 for the role. It was good feedback, but it was like, I didn't get a good vibe from it, you know? I got in the car after that callback, and I bawled my eyes out all the way home, 2.5 hours home. I remember like praying, and I was just like, I was a mess. I just wanted it so bad, but I knew I didn't get it. Spoiler! Just kidding. No, I did not get the role. They ended up emailing me like probably a couple days later or a day later and telling me that I did not get the part. I think I respectfully just like emailed back and said, thanks for the consideration. I'd love to work with you in the future, which is a good thing to do if they ever like call you back or whatever to tell you that you didn't get the part. So I was so upset about it, and of course it was one of those things where I was like blaming myself for everything I did. And you know what I did? I freaking like stalked the Facebook page of this film for like months after, like a freaking like ex-girlfriend that's crazy stalking her like ex-boyfriend. I was like on top of this film's Facebook page, like seeing what they were doing, like getting jealous every second of me lurking. And I knew who had gotten the part. She was like kind of this country girl, like well-known singer, I guess, in the area that these auditions were. She had like a fan acting page. I was like, are you serious? She would have these updates like, oh my gosh, my time on set has been incredible. The people on set are so nice, like I'm getting so spoiled. And I'm like, girl, like that made it so worse for me, because I was like, that could be me. So anyways, that was the first callback experience. I have not yet heard from that production company again about another opportunity, but it was a good experience. Every audition is a good experience. I was just quite bitter about it. It's all just a lot of no's and a few yeses when it comes to acting, and that's what I have learned. That's what I have mastered the emotions of, is knowing that you're not always gonna book the role. You know, you're gonna get more no's than yeses in this industry, and that was something that I didn't know back then. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of my first ever callback experience. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also leave me video requests down below if you have any other my first time video ideas for acting, because I actually really love making these kind of personal acting videos. I think they're a lot of fun. Also, leave me other video requests down below. Tell me if you can relate to these stories for your first audition or callback experience. Subscribe to this channel for weekly acting videos. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you want to, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! This week I am back with a dorm room haul. This is my comforter that I got. It is just from Target and it has like florally print on it.